Hi, I'm Warren Yates. Today I'd like to share something with you that I've learned on the banjo that helped me tremendously, and I think that it will be a very big part of your banjo playing too if you can learn to apply it. First, I'd like to express my appreciation for Earl Scruggs and what he has done for the banjo industry. He set a standard that's very hard to follow up, but he did a great job, and he basically showed the world what a banjo is supposed to be used for, in my opinion. When we start playing the banjo, we start learning to play, we typically find something that we hear that we think that we can reproduce, and we go at it. And you know, for lack of better terms, we may say, I'm going to learn this new Scruggs lick. And we work on this lick and we think, where can we apply it to a song? And it's a good hot lick, and I heard this pro over here do it, and I really respect him, and I hear this pro over here do it, and I really like his playing, and so on. And we're basically all copies of Earl to the best we can, but it's very difficult to do exactly what Earl did. So what made Earl stand out to be so different than everybody else? Well, first thing, Earl didn't sit down to learn a Scruggs lick. He hadn't created it yet. He didn't sit down and say, well, I'm going to learn this J.D. Crowe lick, or this Ron Stewart, or Sammy Sheeler, or any of these great people. They didn't exist. What he did have was the melody. All music, basically before him, started off with some kind of melody, whether it be fiddle tune, some type back porch music, orchestra, jazz, whatever that he might have been listening to. Everything was common to having a melody line. And so often as we start learning these hot licks, we learn where to plug them into a song, but we forget about the melody of the song, and so it goes lacking. And often we don't realize that that happens. But I'll show you an example of how you can use it, and how possibly Earl might have come up with things that he did. The most important thing is, in order to play a melody, and a melody is what the singer is singing, you need to be able to take your particular instrument, whatever it is, and make that instrument say the words that the singer is singing in the same way as possible. I remember back in grammar school, when I first started school, they taught us about sounding out words and using syllables. And a lot of times, depending on how you pronounce a word, like syllable, you have different beats to that word, and they taught us tap it out, syllable. Okay, there was three of them. There's three syllables in the word syllable. Well, each one of those three has a possibility of one of them being the accent. In this case, which one do you hit harder? Syllable. So the first one is accented. If you were to accent the second syllable, it would be syllable. Syllable. It doesn't make sense in a sentence, and it wouldn't make sense in a song. So even when you're playing the words that the singer is singing, pay attention to the syllables and make sure that your voice is coming through the instrument. One song that people seem to have trouble with is playing the Ballad of the Beverly Hillbillies, because it's just hard to understand how you get all of the Scruggs licks in there and still sound like Earl. Alright, let me give you an example of it. When you start to play a song, play it one string at a time and try to sing through your instrument exactly what the words are. Now let me tell you a story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer nearly kept his family Okay, once you establish that, however close that I might have come to it, then go back and fill in whatever runs you need to, making sure that the melody shines through. Now I'll sing again with it. Now let me tell you a story about a man named Jed. The poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a blind crew. Okay, so you can start to hear where the rolls and runs start to fall in there naturally. Now I'm going to try to play this without singing it and see if I can imagine the words as it's going, and then see if you can follow me and see how close I can hold it together. A lot of times when you don't have something to follow, it's very difficult to keep your mind on it because we get sidetracked. We'll just see. That's about as close as I can get it, but that's what we're after right there. Now, to apply that process to your band, just basically think about the song that you're getting ready to kick off, think about the words, and play the words to the song and fill in behind the melody, and you'll have a great kickoff. And the same thing works with your breaks as well. So again, I'm Warren Yates at yatesbanjos.com. I hope that I did something to help you there. Happy picking.